What is going on, everybody? I'm JoJo, and today I am super curious about the new movie that's kicking off Phase 5 of the MCU, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. In the film, superhero partners Scott Lang and Hope Van Dyne return to continue their adventures as Ant-Man and the Wasp. Together with Hope's parents, Hank and Janet, and Scott's daughter, Cassie, the family finds themselves exploring the quantum realm and interacting with strange new creatures and embarking on an adventure that will push them beyond the limits of what they thought was possible. So my quick thoughts about this film: I had a good time. It was fun. I walked into it thinking this was going to be a much darker approach to the Ant-Man movies. And it did give us a bit more seriousness and more darkness to it, but it still keeps the whole comedic levels up to par with the other ones. The performances from Jonathan Majors and Michelle Pfeiffer were great. I really enjoyed the performances. I thought Jonathan played Kang very well. He was cynical. There were early moments where you see him and you start to be a little bit more empathetic for him, like he has a heart. And he played it very well, but then he can easily just do a quick switch up and just become like this dark, evil ruler who wants nothing more than to destroy everything and everyone around him. So it really kind of leaves the audience a little bit surprised by his true motives, which we know what Kang's gonna do, but it was just the way Jonathan played it was very smooth, very well put together. I loved it. Michelle Pfeiffer playing Janet was executed very well as well. Overall, I just really love Michelle Pfeiffer and everything that she does. I really can't think of a movie where I thought she was just horrible at. She's a great actress, so she gave us a 5-star performance throughout this film. When we talk about the darkness or seriousness of this film, Michelle is what comes to my mind. Besides Jonathan Majors as Kang, but Michelle is what came to my mind. She understood the assignment very well. Now, if you've seen the trailers, you've seen Bill Murray. Bill Murray is in this film. I thought we would see him a little bit more, but this was clearly like a celebrity cameo appearance. I did enjoy seeing him. He was funny, and who knows? Maybe we'll see him again in the future. This was also our first time seeing Catherine Newton playing Cassie. I've seen Catherine in her previous work, but for someone taking over this role and getting a spotlight, I would have wanted to see more character development from her. We're introduced to her as like this tech guru, super smart girl from the beginning. We didn't really get to see how she got to that point. I like the father-daughter subplot that they had going on in this film. There was clearly a rift between Scott and Cassie. I wanted a progression with that riff, a build-up, and I don't think it gave me that by the end of it. Cassie, she aspires to be a hero. She's like an activist, and she gets into a little bit of mischief. She basically will go to what length that she needs to do what's right, and she's basically disappointed in Scott, saying it's like, you're a superhero, yet you're not doing anything with that anymore. Like, there's people to save. Maybe it's not, big universe that needs to be saving at the moment, but there's other smaller things that could be done, and you're not doing anything. So what's up? So she aspires to be at his level, but honestly is looking down at her dad like, who are you? So that's like the main riff of their relationship, but I wanted to see more of that. I feel like it just fizzled away by the end of that film. Now remember, this film is called Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Where was the Wasp? Hope was there. Hope was in it throughout the film, but she was absolutely sidelined in this. There was nothing. She wasn't doing anything to progress the movie forward. She was just kind of there. Nothing really memorable going on with her. Now, going off of the trailers, the tone of this film, like I said before, looked to be much darker, more emotions, and at times it was, but it was just like a lot of other Marvel movies. There was a lot of jokes, a lot of witty puns thrown at your face a lot. Not as much as Thor: Love and Thunder, though. There was more of a balance with the jokes, but they're definitely sprinkled in there generously. Some of the jokes hit, and some did not. Speaking of jokes, we finally get to see MODOK. Now, I don't know much about MODOK. I didn't keep up with the comics, and I don't know how he was perceived in previous films or cartoons. I was assuming he was going to be like a secondary villain in this film, and he basically was like the class clown of the cast. There was a lot of jokes coming from him, and even when it was supposed to be serious, there were moments where it was supposed to be serious and it was still funny. And his appearance was pretty funny. I know they were trying to stay true to his original look, maybe like in the comics. I just don't think it crossed over well into this film. It was more or less just cringy CGI. Which brings me to my next subtopic, the CGI. The CGI overall was pretty good. The quantum realm was visually stunning. I see a lot of people bringing up Star Wars. I can see that for sure. It's honestly filled with like rich colors and gorgeous skylines and all sorts of different creatures that I could appreciate. There were moments though that the CGI did not look very well. I saw a few people talking about how the movie reminded them of Spy Kids 3D. And when I heard that and saw the film myself, I thought, yes, that's exactly how I would probably describe it. That's a really good reference point for it. There were just times where it clearly looked like the cast was in front of a green screen. It didn't look like top-notch effects. Maybe something was rushed, but it definitely gave off Spy Kids 3D Game Over vibes. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. But overall, this film was a fun watch. Best way to describe it, it was fun. A fun thrill ride. Not amazing, not horrible, not bland, just fun. You know, with a great performance by Jonathan Majors and Michelle Pfeiffer. They really were the standouts of this film, and I think this movie was a clear transition into Phase 5 for MCU, and I'm okay with that. And we even got two post-credit scenes in this film that are clearly going to directly tie in to the future of the MCU. So definitely keep an eye out for that. If you haven't seen the film, stay for the two scenes. One mid-credit, one after-credit. Important. But that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this film. Please make sure to subscribe, like the video, and I will see you on the next one.